You have a lot to offer,
wonderful
Joseph.
speeches by this is Rebecca Abrams and Hassan Yaakov. I'm not sure how much I really can add. I just want to say that I did not have the privilege to know the friend you love so much. But I can say that any time, and this applies both to Palestinians and Israelis and Jews, and anytime somebody is killed or murdered, it affects everybody, because even if you don't know them personally, you know somebody who knows them. And I know the community of Otniel. It's such a wonderful and beautiful community. They have wonderful relations with their Arab neighbors. I know that some of the rabbis there have mentioned that Palestinians come to them for adjudication. Right? They come for them for adjudication because they trust them so much, rather than rely on their local
sheikhs or imams. Yeah.
That's right. So, and I know that there's so many beautiful things going on, and that woman specifically, Dr. Meir, was a nurse, and she wrote about how important it was to treat everybody, Jews and Arabs, equally as a nurse, and what a privilege it was to do this. So I just wanted to kind of bring that forward to see what kind of tragedy and horrible pain this brings to the most undeserving people. The people who deserve it least suffer so much. Not much for me to add, really, but I'll say one thing. First of all, Ham Musa bin Maimon, Musa Maimuni, Rambam, Rabbi Moshe Moses Maimonides wrote in his code, and Moses Maimonides was a rabbi here. He was the rabbi of Egypt. That's where he served the caliph here, and he was the Rais al-Yahud in this very Fustat, right locally. He wrote that Islam has a role to play in the eventual spread of the word of God to the world. So this is an incredible statement. He said Islam and Christianity as well. Both of them have roles to play. And this is a very important point, I think, that as people who have met each other now, and I had seriously debated whether I should come if it was worthwhile. I am so glad I came. So we've got such wonderful people. Even changing and talking and being honest with what, and I have to say I was quite nervous, especially about being open about where I live and things like this. So I'm really, really glad for the acceptance here. And I think that we can recognize each other's roles just by talking the way we are. A word about just the conflict, just very briefly, because it's kind of overdone. Zionism started as a very ideal movement. The voices of tolerance and harmony within Zionism as a movement were tracked classically stronger than any of the few violent voices that existed. So there is much of a basis for which we can recognize our mutual interests and recognize our mutual humanity. But whatever solution we reach, and I am more, I think, well disposed towards what Rabbi Yaakov here is saying, the key for anything to work are meetings like this. And the more meetings we do like this, the more likely, and inshallah, be'ezrat Hashem, the more, God willing, this will actually lead to a harmony and working together as brethren to build a model society and a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.